With the change in weather and daylight savings ending, it's important that we take different road conditions into consideration. In order for motorists and pedestrians to stay safe, we're going to get some advice. Dick Freeburn with Freeburn Hamilton joins us again today. We were just in the kitchen talking about fall flavors. We're going to talk about fall driving. You were very curious as to what was going on in the kitchen, so I brought you this delicious scone from Sandy's
thank you.
Bread.
My gosh, you're so sweet.
I know I am. So is that scone.
I have to admit that I was peeking a little bit, and Sandy's pumpkin rolls looked pretty good.
And I told you hands off.
I'm going to save those for you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's transition into fall driving now from the fall flavors. What are some things motorists should keep in mind with these changing weather conditions right now?
Well, one of the biggest things is the change in light conditions. It's getting darker earlier, and also any time when there's we have a change in the lighting, you have to be very careful. If you're a pedestrian, always use a flashlight when it's dark. Always use reflective clothing and so forth so that motorists can see you. If you're a motorist, you should anticipate, especially if you're going home at night and it's dark now at night, anticipate that there will be people out on those streets walking. Be careful.
I agree. You know, it's getting darker. When I was driving home just 2 nights ago, it was darker than it usually happened, and it was damp on the roads. It is tough to see sometimes, like the lines on the roads when it is dark and wet.
It gets glary.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah.
So let's put up some more tips for what drivers can do and what they really should pay attention to. Like we talked about, like the wetness, keeping your headlights on. There's frost now too, and fog in the mornings.
I mean, when you're stopping at an intersection, anticipate the possibility that your car could slide. Car can slide into the intersection. We've had cases where people have been struck because a car slid into the intersection on wet leaves, on frost, etc. So be careful. Brake a little bit earlier in the wintertime or anytime it's wet.
You said that motorists should kind of anticipate the pedestrians. Pedestrians, I guess, should also kind of anticipate that if a car is approaching, they could be sliding, even with the best intentions.
Absolutely, yeah. Pedestrians have to be very careful of motorists. Generally speaking, the motorist has the right of way, except for certain conditions or situations.
How do you, so break it down.
All right, so at a crosswalk, who has the right of way?
Pedestrians.
Pedestrian has the right of way at a marked crosswalk or at an unmarked crosswalk at an intersection.
Okay.
Okay, so that's fine, that's pretty simple.
But?
Unless there is a no walk sign.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Like the flashing hand that says, like, no, don't walk now.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Pedestrian, if you're in an urban district and there are signals at each intersection, don't try to cross between intersections.
Okay.
Don't cross diagonally, okay, with the roadway. If a car is emerging from a private road, an alleyway, or a parking lot, a pedestrian has the right of way. If they're walking along the street, the motorist has to be careful to wait for the pedestrian to cross in front of them. So there are lots of rules, and people get confused about these things. I get calls all the time on these kinds of questions.
Yeah.
So it's good to review and to know who has the right of way. If you have a sidewalk available,
use it.
It's illegal. Did you know that? If there's a sidewalk that's available and practicable, it's illegal not to use it. It's illegal to be walking on
I totally agree with that. I see people walking in the street. I'm like, why aren't you using the sidewalk? You mentioned people giving you a call all the time. Let's put contact information up on the screen. If you need Dick's services, just call the 7s. There you go. That's
right. Stay safe. But if you need us, 717-777-7777.
Always good to have you.
Always good seeing you.
We'll be right back.
Okay.